Welcome back to episode 112 of the Purple Rain podcast. Back in on a lovely Thursday night, a lovely Friday Eve. Word to my favorite mod, one of my favorite mods, K Dog out there. And we are back and we have news. And it is episode 112, but we don't have a
Yes.
12 right now, I think. But instead, I think it's all right if we dedicate this one to number 4 again. Sam Cook. Let's get this touch on that. It's the Sam Cook episode. In case you didn't know, he retired.
Yes.
So always grateful for our punter since 2006. Gonna be very weird not seeing him back there. We'll get into that. But first and foremost, you can find us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. Right there, pretty easy. Go ahead. Find this guy on Twitter, on Instagram at Sutton Def. Find me on Instagram at Simply AS10 and on Twitter at Simply AS10. Oh, Instagram Simply AS10.prod and Twitter Simply AS10. Okay, got that out of the way. And we right now have 13 likes with 33 people watching. So make sure you like the video, subscribe if you're new. And that's my intro. And thank you for the love on the last episode. Because boy, oh boy, got tons of love from Patrick Queen on that episode. And yeah, thank you all. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, just reiterating what Alex just said. Thank you guys so much for supporting this channel. Last episode was, absolutely nuts. If you haven't seen the Patrick Queen interview, make sure you check that one out and then come and watch this video because that was a good one, episode 111. But anyways, guys, welcome to episode 112 of the Purple Rain Podcast. Like I said, we are your hosts, Sutton Def and Simply AS10 here. Like he said, you can follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. And another thing about the Instagram, we actually did a poll on the Instagram earlier today, and I'm going to bring that up a little bit later. And we're going to kind of maybe get into a little bit of a debate, so it should be fun. So make sure you like the video. Also subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. There's a lot more coming down the pipeline in terms of Ravens content, NFL content. We're going to be talking a little bit more basketball. NBA playoffs is really heating up right now, really heating up. So make sure you're locked into the channel because we got a lot headed your way. Also, just want to give a quick shout out to everybody who may be watching live on Twitter right now. Big shout out to you guys. Then also a big shout out to everybody who's not watching live on YouTube right now. Maybe not watching live at all right now, but they're part of the hashtag replay gang. Thank you guys so much for coming in, and just always supporting the Rain gang. Make sure you leave a hashtag replay gang down below.
Comments went crazy last episode. Love them comments. We check them.
Yeah, we do. So, also, actually, you know what? No, I think that was it for the housekeeping stuff. Now I just want to go ahead and bring up the people who are in here in the live chat, as we normally do here. We would be remiss if we didn't. I see we've got Yolanda in the building, says, good evening, Rain Gang. Hope everyone is well. Thank you so much, Yolanda. Hope you're doing well this evening. Taquan Christian in the house. Action Jackson is in here. We got Lisa in here, says she has mixed feelings about Sam Cook retiring. 1, I feel like I'm going to cry. 2, I'm happy for Jordan Stout. Yeah, we'll definitely get into that, Lisa. Make sure you stick around. Raven Ron says, yo, what up? What's going on, Ron? K-Dog, Mod K-Dog himself, says, get out of the way. Please smash that damn like button, man. You got to do it. You got to do it. Do it for K-Dog. Do it for K-Dog, man. But yeah, lots of stuff to get into today. I see a lot more of you guys down there in the chat. I see I got my guy Dylan in here. I got my guy Stackhouse. Tanja Bowman's in the house. Everybody's in here. So we appreciate all of you guys for coming through to this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. But like I said, again, we got a couple things to get into. So let's not miss any words. Let's get right to it. So kind of the biggest news of today, like we were just talking about, Alex, Sam Cook, our punter, he is retiring. Yeah, he's going to hang him up after... How many seasons was it? 16 seasons, as you can see right there on the screen. 16 seasons in the NFL, as a punter. And he's just been kind of revolutionary to, like, the punting game. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of punters, like, really studied up on him and, like, his techniques and stuff like that, I understand. Which I didn't really know until today when I actually learned a little bit more about Sam Cook. But I thought that was pretty cool, to know that we actually have, like, a legendary punter. What did you make of all, the Sam Cook retiring thing?
So, I mean, he has so many different types of punts. And fun fact, when I played Pee Wee football, I used to punt too. I was a hell of a punter, I swear to God. But, yeah, I mean, definitely underrated. I believe punters are kind of undervalued still because they can change the game if they're really, really good. But definitely sucks seeing him go. You definitely know he was on the back end of his career, though. And I think the writing was on the wall. after Jordan Stout got drafted. But I'm glad he got the good send off, and just how highly spoken of he was shows just how good of a teammate he was, how good of a person he was too. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was nice.
I mean, I think the biggest thing that I took from, because I watched a little bit of the press conference of him retiring where he was with Harbaugh and everything.
Yeah.
I really liked what, he was saying about him working with Jordan Stout. You know, of course, like you said, Jordan Stout, the punter that we drafted in this year's past draft, he is going to be the guy to immediately come in and start. There's just no questions about it, no doubt about it. He's like Tyler Linderbaum level, like you're starting day one,
Yep.
like. So and it was good to see that he's already worked with him. He said he's talked with him, multiple times, kind of built a rapport with him a little bit already, and then they've actually physically worked out together, worked on punts and things like that, like already, which is just great to hear. A legend, a veteran, just kind of coaching up one of our young guys coming in. I love it. But definitely sad to see him go.
And you just got to think they were talking about the whole Super Bowl play when he held the ball in the end zone, how they thought he was going to get all 12 seconds, but he didn't. And then hearing him talk about how nerve-wracking it was to, you have to punt that ball with 4 seconds left on that safety punt, and just going back to the fundamentals, that was actually really interesting to hear. I definitely recommend to go and watch that press conference if you haven't. Definitely learned a lot.
Yeah. Let me see what you guys are saying here in the chat. As always, guys, if you're not watching live right now and you have any thoughts, questions, anything about the stream, make sure you leave a comment down below and hashtag it replay gang, because we love it. Like my guy Alex said, we check the comments. We really do. So, yeah. Let's see what we got, what we were saying in here. Hemo4, I see in here kind of giving some pushback on it. Says, nah, man, we took a punter over Calvin Austin. How are you not mad? I mean, hey, man.
But he's not going to get playing time if we drafted him. Let's just...
Exactly. Like, we have a Calvin Austin already on the roster. We'll get into that in a little bit. We'll get into the whole wide receiver thing in a little bit. But like my guy Engraven typically says on his channel, and shout out to Engraven, he always says, like, Ravens, they draft a receiver past the third round, he's just going to get buried on the depth chart. We know what's going to happen to the guy. Exactly.
Hey, punt return gunner. Hey, kick return. That's basically what...
Ooh, don't get me started on the Gunners thing, and we'll talk about that more later too. Yeah. Tanja Bowman says, I'm glad he is still going to be with the organization. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Let's see. Cam Neal says, Cook is a legend. He changed the punt game. I did not realize he was the one that caused that. I remember being personal protector for the punting when we did rolling punts. That's a lot of strategy. There's a lot of strategy in it. Yeah, you cannot discount what he did for so many seasons, 16 seasons at that, for our special teams. And you know how much this team values special teams, especially John Harbaugh, coming from that long lineage of coaching special teams before becoming a head coach,
And for fans to be talking this highly of a punter, just goes to show how good he was and just how respected he was. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Black Daniel says, hashtag replay gang. What's going on, Black Daniel? Appreciate you for coming through. Yeah. Let's see. Hemo4 brings up a point here. It says Cook's passing ability on fake punts is underrated. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm still kind of mad. He had that one fake punt, I believe, against the Steelers in week 18 or whatever week it was, and it didn't work, and it was incomplete. And now he's like 8 for 9, which still kind of, I'm kind of upset about that, because going out 8 for 8 would have been pretty cool. You passed it 8 times, on fake punts. You're not a quarterback, and they got completed every time.
Right.
But he could throw himself a damn tight spiral.
Let's see. K-Dog says, now Tucker is the lone wolf. Yeah, man. The last one from the wolf pack.
That's sad, man.
It is, man. Got me want to shed a tear, K-Dog. Come on, man.
Yeah, for real. I did see that. I think his $2.5 million cap hit does free up space, which I think is a talking point now, because we first freed up Nick Boyle, and now Sam Cook.
Yeah.
Don't know what's going on.
I see I got my guy Dylan Paul in the house. What's going on, man? He says, do we think he really wanted to retire, or did the Ravens kind of force him to, drafted a punter, kind of let him know what they were doing before the draft? What do you think about that?
He talked about that. He even said that the Ravens were going to go in a different direction, and they kind of told him that. And then he kind of understood that, and it was a new chapter.
Yeah.
It's the answer to that question is in the press conference.
Right. I don't think you can necessarily say they forced him to. I think it was just kind of like I guess you can kind of say like a mutual parting of ways, but they feel so damn good about the guy, they brought him right back into the organization, you know, which goes to show again
And he
how
wanted
good of
to.
a guy he is.
He
Yeah,
wanted to be a coach. It was his idea. I mean,
yeah,
now that's two players who retired. Well, not Villanueva, but Anthony Levine and now Sam Cook that retired as Ravens and coming back as a part of the organization, which is saying a lot about it.
right. Yeah. So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and leave it there on our guy Sam Cook. Like I said, just an amazing career for him. Was there anything else you want to add on him?
I mean, for me, it's gonna be. I can remember the one punter before Cook was Dave Zastadu. Now it's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like
I
now
remember that.
a new punter. I mean, we saw what was it, Johnny Townsend, I think. The 1 week that he was in the COVID list. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's like we're getting Jordan Stout, and I have all the just I do trust Jordan Stout because I look at a guy like Kyer Vedvik who was in preseason, was learning from Tucker and from Cook, and literally was so good in that preseason. We got a 5th-round pick for him. So I definitely think with him learning Stout, he can definitely be as good. Well, not who knows actually, but definitely try to learn from the best.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and shift to something a little bit different here. Change gears. Let's go ahead and talk about a certain tweet that was put out by one Rashod Bateman. Rashod Bateman, the other day, kind of responding to Adam Newman's tweet, just like you can see here on the screen if you're watching live and you're not just listening. You can see Adam Newman tweeted, it says, you know, Rashod Bateman's on the cover of ESPN, and he basically puts the question, I guess, which was the title of the article. It says, can the Ravens win now with the current wide receiving core? And then Bateman, Rashod Bateman, he quoted that tweet, and he says, we can and we will. Y'all talk much. Right.
With the bat emoji. Definitely gotta add that in there.
What do you make of this? What's your knee-jerk reaction to Rashod Bateman coming out and saying this? I mean, he's kind of supposed to, right? But like, what did you think of it?
How can you not love it though? He's 22 years old and taking completely just all the leadership in that wide receiver room, which is definitely getting a lot of slack right now with with the trade of Marquise Brown. And I love the confidence. I am so excited for Rashod Bateman because I went back and I watched the video I made, just like the catches he made and just how crisp his route running was, just the separation, him catching those just catches and just contested. How can you not be excited for that?
Yeah. I mean, I love it too. I love what I'm seeing here from Rashod Bateman because it's like, this is what dogs do. You know what I mean? Like they grab the bull by the horns. They declare themselves as the leader. You know, he's saying like, hey, look, my guys, we will succeed this season. You know, like regardless of what you guys are thinking, we lost Hollywood. We don't have any weapons anymore. No, we're gonna make it happen with what we got. So, I mean, I love what I'm hearing from Rashod Bateman, but at the same time, we still kind of are like, there's still a question mark, right? There's still a question mark there, you know. But I kind of wanted to see what some of the Rain gang was thinking about it. And again, if you're part of the hashtag Replay Gang, leave your comments down below. Let me see. Yolanda B says Bateman is tired of being underrated. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
The things you see on that godforsaken app, Twitter, man, I saw Bateman being compared to Jacoby Myers and Demarcus Robinson. Like, do you not know? It's sad, man. Like, definitely he is tiers above those guys.
Yeah,
tiers.
For sure. I mean, Bateman, like, you can kind of, he's going to be our guy, our number one receiver this year. No doubt about it. Like, you look at, like, the absence of a Hollywood Brown, that was literally Lamar Jackson's favorite target. And that's not a surprise to anybody. That wasn't a secret, right? We all knew that. But without him, without Lamar, having that guy on the field like a Hollywood Brown where it's like, okay, I got to look for him every play. You know, maybe that guy turns into Rashod Bateman, and that's why they were working together earlier this offseason, you know. Multiple times. That's just me. I don't know. I'm thinking that it's going to be a big season for Rashod Bateman. I've said it once before. I'll say it again. I'm thinking at least 1,100 yards this season.
And how many touchdowns?
I want to say I said 8.
You did. You did say 8. Yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah.
1,108. I mean, that's definitely fair, and I think it'll 100% be achieved. Start off early and often.
Exactly. Exactly. Would he had like 500 and something yards last year, and he played like how many games?
And only got like how many passes thrown to him?
Right.
It
Yeah.
was
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, let's see. My guy Hemo4 says, y'all don't forget we're getting the run game back this year. The receivers won't affect us that much. Plus, we have Mandrews. Makes a solid point
I
there.
do agree there. I mean, with the
Yeah.
run game coming back, I think we might get more 1-on-1s with Bateman, and maybe Mark Andrews gets a 1-on-1. Hardly doubt
Yeah.
it, but if that happens, I mean, come on now, who knows? But like I
Yeah.
said, we still are on the train that we need somebody else, to step in there because we'll get into the receivers in a little bit. I'm not even gonna get too far
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. And we can actually go ahead and just segue into that now. Kind of leads us into that topic, just kind of
Okay.
looking at the Ravens receiving core, because Rashod Bateman is saying we can and we will. Well, who is we? We know who we is, but let's take a look at it here on the slides. You can see in a second kind of what the Ravens are working with at wide receiver, exactly what they're working with at wide receiver, actually. You can see right here, you've got the Ravens wide receiver room starting with Rashod Bateman, number one receiver. Devin Duvernay underneath that. Tylan Wallace. Then you got James Prochet. Those are the top four right there. And then you have just the slew of other receivers that are on the roster. So you got your Jalen Moore, Benjamin Victor, Shamar Bridges, Trevon Clark, Slade Bolden, Makai Polk, Raleigh Webb, and Devin Williams. And these are as of ESPN's depth chart. So looking at this Ravens wide receiver room, and Alex, again, just like we did in the last episode of Purple Rain Podcast, we will be giving this a 1 through 5 star rating. This wide receiver room. If you didn't catch it from last week, well, not last week, from last episode, we did it on the running backs. So if you don't know what we rank the running backs, make sure you go back and watch that video. But today we are ranking the wide receiving core, and we want the entire Rain Gang to be included as well. So if you're watching live, let us know what's like how 1 through 5 stars. 1 through 5 stars. How many stars do you give this wide receiving room?
I'll just start off. The average age of those four, our top four receivers, is 23 and a half years old. 23 and a half. That is very young.
Yeah.
So just start right there. And based off of, what we're going into, it's definitely not going to be as high as some running backs were. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
For me, probably a 2.5 to a 3. Just got to be completely honest.
Okay.
I mean, that's just going into the season because you don't know. There's just so much untapped potential in these guys, and we've talked about it. Just we don't even know what we have, and that's probably a little too high. I think 2.5 to 3. But I think 3 is too high. Probably 2.5. I'll go 2.5.
2.5.
I've seen enough out of Bateman, I think, to know that he's going to produce.
Right.
Duvernay, I don't think he can produce with this offensive coordinator. And then I know Prochet has the hands, and Tylan Wallace, I know it's there. It's like I know it's there for these guys. It's just we haven't seen it, and I don't think that we will, unfortunately. And that's just the sad truth I'm slowly coming to terms with.
So Alex, let's get some perspective here. You just said that the Ravens wide receiving room, you would give them a 2.5 stars out of 5. Let's give us some perspective. What would you give the wide receiving room for the Bengals? What would you rate
5.
Rate them? 5 stars?
Yeah, 100%.
Easily.
That's literally probably the best receiving core in the league.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better than the Rams, better than any.
Let me throw another one at you. Bills.
Got to go 5, 100%. They're 1 and 2, and they're the best 2 teams I think in the AFC right now.
Huh. Interesting. How about another one? Chargers.
Got to go 4, 4.5.
Wow. So when you really look at some of these like AFC powers to be, this upcoming season, looking forward, we really do not stack up at all when it comes to wide receivers in terms of.
But we have that run game though. But our run game is.
But that run game, though, you know what I mean? Like that's what kind of, in a way, opens up our passing game. And here's the thing: we don't want to really put too much context into this. Like I really don't want to talk too much about like how Devin Duvernay might not get as many opportunities with the offensive coordinator and stuff like that. Like scheme aside, offensive coordination aside, like just ranking the talent of these guys based off of what we've seen, you would rate them at 2.5.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go back to the Bills. Their number 3 receiver put up 4 touchdowns in a playoff game.
Yeah.
Our number 3 receiver right now probably had 4 targets in the last couple of games.
Yeah.
It's not their it's not these guys' fault, and I feel bad because they're kind of getting these stray bullets, but it's not their fault. It's really not.
Yeah. Now, if there is anybody on this list, we know Rashod Bateman is going
Yeah.
to get his.
Yeah.
But Devin Duvernay, Tylan Wallace, James Prochet, and all the guys listed at the bottom. Out of all those names, which guy do you think needs to be involved way more in the offense?
Yeah, I'm just,
In the passing game, y'all
see
say.
these guys bring a whole lot of just different things. You know, Duvernay brings a speed that I think Wallace and Prochet don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Prochet brings the hands that I think that the other 2 guys don't have. Then Wallace, I think, brings that just fighting for it, just extra dog that I don't think the other 2 have.
Right.
They all bring something different, which is very good. But outside of Bateman, you know, I think I'm going to go with Tylan Wallace. I think I'm going to go with Tylan Wallace.
Go with Tylan. Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with Tylan.
I agree.
I
Bro. Oh my God, dude. I was literally looking at some Tylan Wallace highlights from earlier, from when he was at OSU. And then I went, trust me, he was nasty. He was nasty.
Criminal.
That's why I was so high on him, like coming out of the draft. I really wanted the Ravens to get him, and we did. We just haven't used him. But then I watched a highlight video. Well, not a highlight. It was kind of like a film study video of like things that he did well last season, which was his rookie year. And like 2 plays was him catching the football. Everything
against the Packers
else,
and the Bengals, correct?
I want to say so. Yeah, I think so. Everything else in that video, and the video was actually made by our friend of the channel at Huddle It Up Films. So make sure you
I've seen that one. Yep.
to them. Yeah, yeah.
It's sad when there's more special teams highlights and
It's so many special teams.
It's very annoying because, like, I believe he did enough on special teams to warrant snaps in the offense.
Bro,
if that's how we're gonna talk, I think
if
it works on the defense, why can't it work for the offense?
Honestly, bro, you look at the things that Tylan Wallace was doing on special teams. Like, he was a gunner for like punt returns on a lot of different, a lot of those clips that I was watching on that video. Again, make sure you subscribe to Huddle It Up Films. He makes some really good content. But he was like really like tracking down the ball carrier, taking great angles, hitting guys, being physical. You know what I mean? Like wrapping up. Like, you could put him at corner if you wanted to. You could put him at cornerback if you wanted to. Like, honestly, like, you can move this guy pretty much anywhere. Put him at receiver. You saw what he did against the Bengals. Yeah, it was just that one catch, but he caught the ball and like literally had like 2 guys bounce right off.
Running backwards, by the way.
Yeah.
Caught it, backpedaling.
Yeah.
Hit, turned around, got the first down.
Exactly. Has that dog in him. And don't tell me he can't take the top off of a defense, because I've seen him run some nasty routes deep at OSU. Now I get NFL secondary is going to be a lot more elite than college secondaries, of course, but there's a lot of ways you can utilize this guy, is my point. So it just makes no sense to why this guy should have more tackles than targets at this point in his career. It just doesn't make sense. Just doesn't make sense at all. So
yeah, and
I agree with you.
I want to go back to the point how I said how, like, if it works for the defense, because I remember a point in the year where John Harbaugh said that I saw Christian Welch, number 57, was getting snaps on defense, and he said, Christian Welch has been working hard, playing hard, so I think he should get more snaps on defense. A first-year wide receiver who put up that type of production at OSU, disgusting numbers, that's been working hard on special teams, like I said, wrapping up, getting down there just quick as hell.
Yeah.
How he didn't deserve more snaps and possibly more targets in games that we were just getting blown out of. Like, if that Bengals game, I'm sitting Bateman. Like, you're our first round pick. We know you're good. Why not give our He was a 4th or 5th round pick. I don't know what Tylan Wallace. Give him more snaps. Give him more targets. You got nothing to lose. It was 41-17 with Josh Johnson. You got nothing to lose.
Right.
He'll do it once.
And I don't get that. I don't know if it's just like something in practice that we're not seeing. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know what it could possibly be as to why this guy, Tylan Wallace, that is not getting more reps. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me.
And then I think this preseason now, I was going to get in that, is so crucial for these undrafted guys because there's so much even more unlocked potential. Just seeing, I see people talking about Polk. Personally, I think Slade Bolden, don't know what he could do, but definitely I think has himself a set of hands. And then Williams, I think, from Oregon. People have been talking about him too. And then Victor had himself actually a pretty good preseason last year. So who even knows what we're going to do? And I still think we're going to sign a veteran wide receiver. There's just so many unknowns with this wide receiving core that we can't even predict it.
I mean, yeah, we can sign a veteran wide receiver, but like, you look at that top 4 that's in front of us right now. If we sign a veteran wide receiver, one of those guys is going to have to get bumped down and is really going to get no burn.
Yep.
So it's just like, which of those guys? You know, it's kind of like a pick your poison. Do we pay a 3 or 4 million for T.Y. Hilton on a 1-year deal?
No.
To come in and do what Tylan Wallace can do?
Signing T.Y. I think is pointless. I really think it's
super pointless.
I mean, I'm actually, spoiler alert, I'm making a Julio Jones video for my YouTube, and I was just looking at I went through every single catch of his last year, and he was still catching it with a man on him. You know, he had a guy draped on him, still caught it, still has those hands. Obviously the injuries, but just kind of was like a better Sammy Watkins last year. He made plays deeper in the stretch than Sammy did, but you know what you're getting. So,
right. Yeah. I mean,
boy, oh boy.
So, I mean, I didn't give my rating of this wide receiver.
Go ahead.
Me, yeah, honestly, you said it was a 2.5. I kind of agree with that. I really do. I really can't give him any more, any less. Like 3 stars, I feel like would be a little bit too much for what we've seen so far out of these guys. You know, now if we still had Hollywood, I'd probably give it a 3 stars. Not gonna lie, I feel like he would be that extra 0.5, or that would be fair.
I go 3.5 if we still had Hollywood. I think
3.5.
Yeah. Can you bring up King's comment real quick? Because I think this is a very interesting point, and I don't think I wouldn't be opposed with this.
I got King.
I can see the Ravens doing this for some reason. Letting the young guys start, and then if you're not doing good, you can sign Odell in like November. I can just see that happening. I really can. Like we have our midseason signings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about that on the last episode? I want to say we did. It was either like maybe it was off the air or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like that idea as well. Like if we have the cap space late in the season, why not bring him on board? Just have him produce for the playoffs.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind it. I mean, he's a guy who can come in and kind of be like an immediate help for Lamar. Yep. So, but definitely no T.Y. Hilton though. Definitely no T.Y. Hilton. I'm really not on the Emmanuel Sanders train either.
No.
Yeah. I'm certainly not on the Cole Beasley train either. Just no thanks.
Are we that desperate?
Thanks. Yeah, I mean that's where we're at right now with it, pretty much.
Oh boy.
Let's see. Yolanda B says, I'm going to give Greg Roman a small margin of a chance, but if he's doing the same old after the first game, I'm headed to Owings Mills. She gonna go up there and tell her herself. Tell him herself. Yeah. Bring us with you. We can all have a conversation. Just have an intervention, with everybody in the Ravens front office. Just like, let's have a talk, guys. Come on. But yeah, I mean, that's that short leash thing that I was talking about before. I mean, I don't know about 1 game, but 4 games in, if we don't see like any sort of like improvement, we should at least, we started out the season really well last year through the air. We did.
Even in the loss,
yeah. So I think that if we can even start out the season, or this season coming up, just as good as we did last year, I feel like we'll be fine. Especially with a more improved offensive line, we'll be fine. Yeah. But like my guy, I think I saw somebody else in there saying that we still have that the terrorists calling the plays. Yeah. So.
Oh boy.
Let me see. We do have a super chat donation. This one coming from Dapper Dons. What's going on, man? Thank you so much. Yeah, making it rain here on episode 112 of the Purple Rain podcast. Says, I would rather roll with what we have and see till what does that say? Playoffs? I guess playoffs. Yeah. But yeah. No, not you, Siri.
Hey, Siri.
Not you. Yeah.
We also have 30. Oh my gosh.
See?
My Siri just went off on my Mac. Lovely. Oh my goodness. We also have 39 likes right now. If you could get it to 50, I would really appreciate it. Like the video. Please.
Like the video. Yeah. But yeah, let's go ahead. We can transition from the wide receiver room talk. Let's go ahead and see what we've got up next here.
This will be fun.
This will be a fun one. Yes, this will be a fun one.
Against them, the Ravens.
So Joe Burrow. Talking Ravens, as you guys can hear a little bit there.
Got them dirty burgers, Sandy.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and roll the clip. Why don't we? Let's just roll the clip, see what he said about us.
Lamar.
I love playing the Ravens.
Just had 2 crazy games last year.
Yeah, I love playing the Ravens because they talk.
They talk a lot.
They talk. I love that.
I feel like the score was 47, like 20.
It was a lot to a little.
Yeah, but both times. 'Cause
Yeah.
you beat them one time, they beat you one time.
No, we beat them both.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I threw for 520 something in the second one, and I threw for 400 and something in the first one.
Fucking.
Jamar had like 260 some yards in the first game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love playing the Ravens. They like to talk, and so when I don't start the talking, but I usually, if somebody pokes me.
Yeah, that's for our next segment there. But it's pretty interesting what Joe Burrow said. Honestly, I don't put too much stock into it because the guy, is Joe Cool. Is Joe Cool, man. Like, he's gonna get on a podcast, some interview, he's gonna talk his stuff, whatever. I don't think he necessarily said anything disrespectful about the Ravens. Granted, we were very, very beat up last year, so it's just like, oh my god, like, why are you really, why are you acting like you just own us? Because I mean, you really don't, bro. Like, come on. But what did you make of the whole Joe Burrow talking about the Ravens? Said he loves to play us because we love to talk.
You just said Joe Cool. There's only one Joe Cool. He wore 5 in Baltimore. You know that.
Joe, what is it? K-Dog calls him Joe Tool. That's funny. That's hilarious, actually.
It was. I mean, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but stock because they had to beat us last year fair and square.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm gonna give him that. I just kind of, it's whatever. It's a new season, and just let that's bulletin board material. If anything, I want that playing throughout the castle.
Yeah.
1,000,000%. And just talking about the 500 yards. What was that? The second game?
Yeah.
We know why it was 500. And the first game there was a whole lot of yak in there, but I won't get too much into that.
Right.
And I think Uzomah had like 200 some yards. He's gone now.
Yeah.
Week 5 will be fun. It'll be fun.
Week 5 will be fun. Definitely have that one circled on the calendar like no other, honestly. Let's see, we do have another super chat donation. This one's coming from Engineering Designs. Thank you so much, making it rain here on this episode of PRP. Says talking real spicy about a third string defense. I know that's right, man.
Engineering. It's actually engineering's first time in a live stream, so thank you for coming through. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I actually see Tanja said Patrick Queen said it's noted, and god damn it, he said it's noted. I love that. Love that. Didn't say names, just said noted. So let's
shout out to Patrick Queen.
Big shout out. So I can't wait for that. Oh, it's gonna be fun.
I think the thing that like triggers Ravens fans the most about this is just like how nonchalant he is during this interview. He's like, yeah, so the Ravens, what do you feel about the Ravens? Yeah, they love to talk. I love to play them. Beat them twice. It's like, no, didn't you beat him once? No, I beat him twice. Threw 500 yards. Jamar had 200. He's just like so like matter of fact about it. It's just, I don't know. It's funny to me. But week 5 though, we'll be looking forward to it.
I respect how I knew his stats. Sometimes that's not good to hear that your QB knows exactly what he threw. A little bit of me, not we. I'm gonna say that. I mean, the offense covered up points, but just wait till that they come against a real Ravens offense, a defense.
Yeah.
Y'all still got Eli Apple? Bet.
I mean, I feel like a lot of these, I won't say a lot of these quarterbacks because obviously we haven't heard any other quarterback speak about the Ravens like Joe Burrow just did in this clip. But a lot of these guys, I feel like they're not really taking into consideration how good the Ravens pass defense is going to be. Or at least on paper it is right now. I'm cool with that. It's very, very good on paper, but I think it'll translate well to the field. Like a top 5 safety in Marcus Williams, and then the best safety in the draft in Kyle Hamilton.
Their safety's not going to play for them. Jesse Bates is not going to play on the franchise tag.
Right.
You might want to get him locked up.
And then arguably the best cornerback duo in the league, Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters, are making a comeback. Like, come on, bro. It's not going to be as easy as you think. So I think, like, after week 5, if the Ravens smoke the Bengals, let's say hypothetically speaking, we smoke the Bengals week 5. Bro, can you imagine the memes and the videos and the reposts and people digging up this video right here? This interview? Oh my God, it's gonna be beautiful.
I already got this video gonna be in the hype season for the. Don't worry, I got this. Nice. Heard it here first. Make sure you subscribe to Simply AS10 on YouTube because that hype video is gonna be crazy. And I always see Ravens Bengals fans going back and forth. Listen, sometimes Ravens fans just take the L. Like I just going back and forth. Like
Yeah.
once you realize that you can't change anybody's opinion, especially in
Right.
like a rival fan, your life gets a lot like simpler. Like cool, let them have it. We're coming back this year. It's all good. But
Yeah.
they can have it. We're coming back. It's all good.
Yeah, you're not gonna change anybody's mind on Twitter. Like,
Oh my goodness! Even when you
Yeah.
have like that, oh, I've seen some. I'm like, bro, the facts are right there, and they still go. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, just stop responding.
right? It's damn near impossible to change somebody's mind if you're debating with them like in real life. But on Twitter, just forget it. Like, it's not a thing. It's not gonna happen. You shouldn't be debating to change anybody's mind anyway. You should only be debating to help people understand your point of view. But that's just another
Listen to him.
tidbit.
Listen.
Boz, my guy Boz says youtube.com/simplyas10. Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Make sure you guys
Boz.
go ahead. Type in that link. Type in
Our
that link on
favorite,
YouTube.
our favorite Steelers fan, ain't that right?
Yeah.
Favorite.
Yeah.
You know, and a big shout out to Mike Tomlin, who said, "Great career to Sam Cook." So a big shout out to you, Mike Tomlin. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Nice. Very cool of him. Like I said, I've always liked Mike Tomlin. Let's see.
And thank you,
All right.
Garnett.
Yeah.
Garnett
90
actually got a
degrees.
shout out today in the Ravens Lounge podcast. So big shout out to you for that. That was pretty dope.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Shout out to
Yeah.
shout out to Garnett. My guy. But yeah, let's go ahead and segue to our next topic, kind of talking about Joe Burrow a little bit more, but comparing him to Patrick Mahomes. This is interesting to me because I put this poll out earlier on Instagram, and I kind of wanted to get you guys' opinion on it. And a lot of people, most people voted they would take Mahomes over Joe Burrow for the next 10 years as their quarterback. Alex, I really, really, really want to get your opinion on this. And the Rain Gang, I want to get you guys' opinion as well. So let me know down below what you guys are thinking about this. But Alex, I'm starting with you. Who are you taking for your quarterback the next 10 years? Patrick Mahomes or Joey Burrow?
I've said this for just for a while. I think there's there's four quarterbacks, the top four quarterbacks I think in the league right now. Rodgers, Brady, Allen, Mahomes. That's definitely up for debate. Seeing, we'll see who Mahomes is this year with losing Tyreek Hill, with Kelsey up there in age. But I'm gonna take Mahomes, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like Burrow didn't just mollywop us last year. And I can't say he's not good because he's definitely a top 7 quarterback. I think. I definitely think that still, if you want to debate quarterbacks, it's got to be Herbo and Burrow. I think those two are going to be a really good debate for the coming of years. But I got to go Mahomes, just what he's done. MVP, Super Bowl, first 2 years starting, AFC Championship every single time he plays. That's just... And these people said he was had a down year. He had started off terribly and just came back. But I got to say Mahomes, man. Just different.
First, we do have another super chat donation. This one's coming from Balti Raven. Thank you so much, my man, for donating to episode 112 of the Purple Rain podcast. Making it rain. We appreciate it. We really do. Now, me, and I'm going to leave this up here because we really do appreciate you, bro. Let's see.
You do.
So, next 10 years, who am I taking, Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow? It might ruffle some feathers. It might not be the popular opinion, but listen, I'm going Joe Burrow. I'm going Joe Burrow, bro.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. So basically, my reasoning behind going with Joe Burrow over Patrick Mahomes is look at what Joe Burrow has done with so much less than Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow did not have a good offensive line. Joe Burrow did not have a slew of weapons in Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. Joe Burrow did not have an Andy Reid or an Eric Bieniemy. But in his second season, in his first season, he was, I don't want to say lights out, but he was playing really, really well for a rookie up until he got hurt. His second season comes out. The only thing they added pretty much, the main piece that they added was Jamar Chase, which is his boy from college. Brought him in, rookie wide receiver, go to the Super Bowl. Would have almost won that Super Bowl had it not been for the offensive line. We know about every Super Bowl, the past, 3 or 4 of them, the story has been, one quarterback is under constant duress. That was Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl. It was Patrick Mahomes a few years ago as well, But for that reason, since he's done more with less, just the type of quarterback he is, the way that he approaches the game, he doesn't necessarily have to get it done with his legs. He doesn't necessarily have to get it done with all the crazy arm mechanics, things like that. But he just gets it done. He's what I like to call an ace quarterback, ace in the hole quarterback. Joe Burrow is what the NFL wants Trevor Lawrence to be. And that's what, I don't know, man. I love me some Joe Burrow. I mean, I know he's a rival of the Ravens, and I'll always treat him like such. But I gotta respect what the man has already put on tape in just his second season. So for that reason, I'm going Burrow, man. I'm sorry.
Like I said, can't argue with opinions. Gotta respect that.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
we'll see. But
but you see where I'm coming from, though, bro.
I see 100%. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I respect it, but we'll have to see. I mean, I think the big thing, like this year with Mahomes, we'll see the real Mahomes. Like, there's no Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Now, I think this answer can change by next year. It really can, because with him without Tyreek Hill, maybe he's not who he thought he was, or maybe he elevates everybody else to the next game.
Yeah.
Same with Burrow. I mean, I'm looking at the Bengals. I mean, contracts, that cap. You've seen why they had to trade Tyreek Hill. You got Jesse Bates, who won't play on a franchise. I believe Tyler Boyd's coming up on the contract year. Higgins was a second-round pick, so he's going to his third year. So he'll be a free agent after next season. So we'll definitely see. But it just is kind of showing how good the AFC is. I mean, when you have just the caliber of quarterbacks we have compared to the NFC, it's crazy. Because, like, there's really good at quarterbacks in the NFC, and then it's like the drop-off. AFC, it's boom, 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 drop-off. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you couldn't go wrong either way with, like, either one of these guys. Like, you take Joe Burrow for the next 10 seasons, you take Patrick Mahomes. Chances are you're probably going to get maybe 1 or 2 Super Bowls out of that, which is great. Let me see. Some people are saying this is disrespectful for Mahomes. I don't know, man. I don't know. If you look at Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes' numbers last season, I know numbers don't tell the whole story, but Joe Burrow was insane. He was pretty insane, completing 70% of his passes. Those are really good numbers, dude. Those are really, really good numbers. And like people, I feel like are discounting Joe Burrow because he lost the Super Bowl, but people aren't really taking into consideration, like taking a step back and saying like, okay, this guy who never even had a full rookie season, this is basically like his first full season, went to a Super Bowl with his best weapon being a rookie wide receiver. That's unheard of. It is. So I think there's a lot more in store, and I think the rivalry between the Ravens and the Bengals is going to be insane the next, I would say, 7 to 8 years. Insane.
Yeah, there's a lot to, talking about. Zach Taylor came from the Sean McVay coaching tree. Definitely. I think for the Bengals sticking by him, I think that paid off because not many teams will stick by a coach that had a really bad first 2 years like him. That paid off for them. Not many teams will do that. So
it's true.
We'll see, man.
We will. We're gonna go ahead and leave that there. So now we are at the time in our episode where we will open up the floor to some questions from the Rain Gang, basically our official Rain Gang question segment, where you can ask us anything about anything. Doesn't have to be about NFL football, guys. It really doesn't. Okay? You can ask us anything. So we're going to go ahead and kick that off right here, right now. Go ahead and put your questions down below. If you're not watching live right now and you're part of the hashtag Replay Gang, thank you so much. Make sure you leave your questions down below with the hashtag Replay Gang. Also, like the video and subscribe to the channel as
likes.
well.
Can we get 60?
Ooh, okay. 60. Yeah. We're creeping up there. Slowly but surely. All right, let's see. First question, we're going to go ahead and kick it off with my guy, Dre. What's going on, Dre? Says, who do y'all got? Celtics versus Heat. I'm not sure if you're talking about tonight's game or if you're talking about the entire series.
Let's do series.
For the series?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Yeah, for the series, I would probably have to say... the Heat, man. Like, just based off of what I saw in game one, you have a Jimmy Butler who can kind of, I don't want to say cancel out the offensive efforts of Jason Tatum, which is the Celtics' best player, but he can definitely contain him, while still also going out there and giving you 40 points. I just feel like the Heat, they're also a deeper team, so I think the Heat will probably beat the Celtics, and I would say 5 or 6. Yeah.
For multiple reasons, between Yates Boz being a fan of them and one of my favorite players of all time, basketball playing for them, going for the Heat as well. I got Heat in 6. 1 million%.
Heat in 6.
Jimmy Butler is like, I've loved him ever since Chicago.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Alex. Who's your favorite player left in the NBA playoffs right now? Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, Steph Curry, or Luka Doncic?
Oh, Jimmy Jimmy. I think just from his story,
Mm.
how he's kind of kicked out at 13 and just like kind of going to be this superstar. I love that. I mean, between like Minnesota, which like a fever dream, Sixers, where I think if he stayed there, they would have won a championship, and now the Heat, rooting for him.
Okay.
What about you?
I like that.
What about you?
Me, honestly, I would probably say I might have to say Jason Tatum. I'm gonna have to say Jason Tatum. Simply because like his game is just so clean. It's just so clean. If you watch him tonight, if you don't watch, the Celtics a lot, watch the game tonight. Or if you're watching the replay game, go and watch his highlights, man, because he's just so graceful on the court. It's very like Kobe-esque, and it makes me miss watching Kobe play for sure. But I would say him, and then right underneath him, I would say Steph, because he's just amazing. Just always has been. The last decade, he's Steph, right? But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to our next question here. Let's see. Denville Carlisle says, how many games did Joe Burrow win last season? What's their record?
I think 11 or 12 wins. One or two.
12 wins. They won 3 in the playoffs. So, yeah, somewhere between 14 and 15 wins.
Yeah.
Let's see. Black Daniel's giving a shout out to the hashtag replay gang. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Let's see. Alaka says, who's the best quarterback in the AFC North right now?
I think, listen, I love Lamar. I mean, just looking at what Burrow has and what Lamar has, I just said they were 5-star receivers. And with just the offensive coordinator, I got to go Burrow just because I know what I'm going to get out of them. I don't know what I'm going to get with the Ravens offense. I don't know what Greg Roman's going to do, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
It scares me deeply because I know what Lamar can do.
I mean, I have to agree with you there. I do have to kind of concede that Joe Burrow is at the top of the food chain when it comes to quarterbacks in the AFC North. I mean, just, again, look at what the guy did in his second season. Another thing people don't talk about that, what Joe Burrow just did is that he was one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league. Bro was sacked like over 50 times last year. Patrick Mahomes was only sacked like, I think, 28 times.
And how many do you think Lamar would get if he wasn't just as mobile? It would be a lot more, I think, too. It was crazy.
Yeah. Let's see.
I think if he couldn't scramble the way he could, I think he would have been sacked 10 times against the Raiders. If that was Joe, probably 15 times. Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, Lamar definitely avoids a lot of sacks, and that's crazy. Like, when you think about it, you look at his sacks, like his sack numbers, and they're probably around the same amount, on average as these other guys. But like, I don't know if he wasn't as elusive, like you said, as he is, his sack numbers would be way higher. Which is a testament to us needing to get that offensive line fixed, which we did. Winston Cortero says, favorite pro wrestler? Mine is Kenny Omega. I do not watch pro wrestling at the moment. Yeah, I don't. But I mean, when I was a fan of wrestling, I really liked Rey Mysterio. Was my favorite. Little guy. I was rooting for him always. So let me see.
Love me some Jeff Hardy. Was him for Halloween one year. Had the armbands and all. Yeah.
Did you wear eyeliner and stuff or no?
No, I just spray painted my hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lisa Frankel says, who do you think the Ravens rookie of the year will be?
This is a good one. I thought it would be a lineman. So I really want to say Kyle Hamilton. Just, God, I'm so excited to see him.
Yeah.
Like, bro, Hamilton, Marcus Williams. I'm going to go Hamilton. Gotta go Hamilton.
I'm going to go Hamilton as well because I feel like Kyle Hamilton, he has the most potential to make, like, the most game-changing plays,
Oh, yeah.
Like, an interception is huge for his case, you know what I mean? But, like, nobody necessarily is going to notice a nasty block that Linderbaum put on, like, a guy where he gets up to the second level on a linebacker. People are going to notice the interception a lot more. So, for that reason, I feel like Ravens Rookie of the Year, it'll probably go towards Kyle Hamilton, like you said.
And speaking of Ravens, they have the 30 for 30 coming out about the 2000 team. I'm
Oh,
excited
yes,
for that.
yes,
That's going to be great.
yes.
It's going to be great.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yolanda B chimes in here, says, what are the main keys to beating Joe Burrow and company?
I mean, we shored up that secondary.
Yeah.
It's offense. It's a great defense. So we'll see that. And then kind of just controlling the time of possession. That's a big thing. I think with Gus and JK back and a good line, we can do that.
Yeah, I agree. And then another thing, just like also, that secondary has to remain airtight. It's got to be airtight.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Vacuum sealed. Like the back half of the field, like where teams were just killing us last season with the deep balls, things like that. Kyle Hamilton, Marcus Williams. That's going to be their responsibility, and I think they'll definitely show up to work for that.
And like Raven Ron said, pass rush, big.
Pass rush, yeah,
Big.
yeah, absolutely. That is huge. Let's see. We'll take a few more questions in here from you guys. Remember, you guys can ask us questions about absolutely anything. Engineering Design says, what are the chances, the percent, that we move on from Giro during the season?
You know what?
It depends on how bad it is offensively, truly. Because, listen, Alex, there's no excuses this time. There's no excuses. We said the same thing last year, but there
Don't
was
say that word.
injuries.
Ah, he said the word.
It's
the I word for me. It's the I word.
Let me knock on wood. I'm gonna knock on wood. But yeah, man, I think that if I had to put a number on it, an exact figure, I would probably say there is a 37% chance, because I don't think it's very likely to happen. But if things get bad enough, I could see them doing that, just kind of like as a desperation, like, hey, we're gonna have to pay Lamar next season. You know, we don't have time to keep figuring this thing out year after year after year. You know, let's make something happen.
You know, I was gonna say 1%. I just, you know, did you watch the Wired of the draft by any chance? That was a great.
I did not.
Watch that. It was great.
Okay.
And he was they were talking to Greg Roman, I believe. I forget who they're talking about, but he was like, Greg's excited to have you. I think it's probably one of the tight ends. I think it was Likely they're talking about. And I'm like, damn, did Greg just make this pick? Like, I like Likely. But did he just make this pick? So if he's kind of having a say, like a real big say, I'm like, okay, he's probably not going to get fired.
Well, that's true.
But
That's a good point.
if I can give a percentage chance, probably 25.
Okay.
I go there.
Got you. Let's see. Christopher Swain, what's going on, man? Appreciate you for coming through. It says, if there was one edge rusher you would take from any other team in the NFL and put them on the Ravens, who would it be?
I think it's going to be between TJ Watt or Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald, but I think he just do it all.
Yeah, but he's more of an interior guy.
Yeah,
I'd probably go TJ Watt, man. Just like how explosive he is. He's not old by any stretch of the imagination. You know, he's really just getting started, entering his prime. I would go with TJ Watt. I've seen him wreck our games too many times.
20
man.
sacks,
Yeah.
20 some sacks. Crazy.
Yeah, ridiculous. All right. Let's see. Take maybe one or two more here. Let's see. We have another question. This one coming from Alaka. Says, what do you think about trading for Kadarius Toney, who's on a rookie deal, and signing Julio to our current receiving squad? And if you had to pick one between Julio or Toney, which would you pick?
I like this question. I've seen a lot about Toney. I think with an actual, if we had Kyle Shanahan who was running them, I would be all over this, because Shanahan could just do so much with him. But I don't know what do you think the market would be for him? Like a second, third? Because he was a first round pick.
But he would be kind of hard to shop because of the off field problems. So I'd probably say, you said he was drafted in the first round?
First round.
Okay. So I'd probably say a second or a third.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely not another first.
Now go back to you add him to what we have now. It's what does he bring that what we don't have, and probably a different bit of explosiveness. I don't see it happening though. I just don't see us making that trade whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't either. But if I had to pick between Julio or Toney, I'd probably go Julio, because I feel like he gives us a better immediate impact, or more of an immediate impact than a Kadarius Toney would. And Julio Jones is going to give us positive impact on the field and off the field, because he can mentor young guys. Kadarius Toney might give us positive impact on the field, but off the field, we know he's not going to necessarily be giving positive impact.
Julio on a pitch count.
Yeah, I'll take Julio. Let's see. I think that was going.
I think there's anything else. I think that was it.
I think that was about it. Again, if you are part of the hashtag replay gang, go ahead and put your questions down below. Put your questions down below, man.
Drop 'em.
Now, also, before we get out of here, I did say before that I do want to start a group chat on Instagram for the entire Rain Gang. Whoever wants to join and just kind of talk Ravens football in there, you can. I will be kicking that off probably tomorrow. So if you follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast, follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. I'm going to put up a story post. You have to respond to that story post, and you'll get added to the group chat.
Nice.
All right. We do have a super chat donation coming from Yolanda. Thank you so much, making it rain.
Thank you, Yolanda.
Making
Thank
it
you,
rain
thank you,
here.
thank you.
Episode 112, and we
Much
appreciate
love.
you, Yolanda.
Much love.
Much love, much love. Says thank you for the great stream, gentlemen. No, thank you, Yolanda.
for coming
thank
through.
you. Absolutely. Again, say it once, I'll say it again. Alex has said it before. We can't do any of this stuff without you guys. Like, none of it.
Facts.
So we are really, really appreciative of you guys just coming in and supporting, whether it be with donations, whether it be with commenting, liking, subscribing, anything that you guys can do.
Anything and
you
everything.
Guys do it. Yeah. Anything that you guys can do, you guys do it, and we appreciate you guys to no end for that. So
Thank you.
yeah. Like Boz says here, like and subscribe. Helps us
Yeah.
out a ton. With that being said, I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out.
God
Oh,
damn.
oh, he's
62
taking
likes.
out his mic.
62. I was that excited. 62 likes. We hit it. Perfect. Thank you. And like you said, thank you for coming through. We are gonna have a lot of fun. Definitely have another special guest coming through next week.
Yeah.
Heard that here first, so definitely can't wait. Yeah, and then nice yellow hearts there. But until then, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Great weather, by the way, here in Maryland. Finally, took
Yeah,
long
super
enough.
great. 90s.
Took long enough. Yeah, took long enough. But we'll see you next Monday. And as always, and until then, thank you for coming through. Episode 112, Sam Cooke episode,
Yes.
the Purple Rain podcast. And don't forget to stay positive, test negative, and one more thing.
And never, ever, ever, ever forget to call God. This has been episode